Thanks for staying with us here on TVC. Breakfast is not time for us to look at what the papers are reporting. The Nation newspaper says, experts, economists, worst times of reforms, pains over. We look at the Daily Times. Nigeria targets $22 billion trade growth with China, backs global governance plan. Daily Independent, 2027, Peter Obi not confused on party to run for president. Obedient Movement says he remains Labour Party member. It remains to be seen how that is being. The Punch newspaper, 2027 Presidency, coalition demands Atiku, Obi's full membership. APC, others push back as coalition directs members to abandon parties for ADC. Blueprint newspaper, Defense Headquarters Police, 643 criminals arrested, dozens killed, 41 kidnapped victims rescued. The Platform Times, public anger as local government chairmen sent wives abroad on taxpayers' bill. Turkey leadership training sparks accusations of corruption. Citizens say councils prioritize luxury over development. This Nigeria, structural challenges hindering productive sector. Experts alert the federal government. The Friday Leadership Friday says 200% price surge pushes egg, chicken off Nigerians' menu. And weekend hope, stakeholders to federal government, rising cases of suicide worrisome. Families, schools, workplaces urged to break stigma. National Suicide Prevention Bill seeks lifelines, decriminalization of attempts. And last but not least, we have Alliance Sport versus Galatasaray, Osimhen available for selection, as well as battles against Lesotho, Benin, Onyedika ruled out. We'll talk about all of this, and then we'll be doing this with my colleagues, Etoma, Ria, and of course Olamide. Let's start
interesting headlines, actually.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Friday headlines are always juicy.
And I know. And I know you guys are itching to talk.
Oh no, we're so itching.
so many of these. But let's start off with you, Etoma. You know, looking at the Nation newspaper, talking about experts, economists, saying that worst times of reforms, pains over. Manufacturing has stabilized. Gains begin to reach average Nigerians, according to them. Yeah, let's start off with that, the Nation newspaper.
Oh, yes. Worst times are actually over. When you're talking about putting the foundation of economic recovery, down. This administration has done quite well. But that is translated to the average Nigerian. It's yet to happen. We are seeing it in very little areas, like a little drop in price in some commodities, not all. While some commodities are going down, other commodities are still increasing. The average Nigerian has not really felt it. But is the foundation solid? Yes, the foundation is solid. Put it side by side before this administration came on board. It is, the improvement is in leaps and bounds, so to say. However, the average Nigerian has to feel it before we can say, yes, we are there. But we are moving towards that direction, definitely.
And talking about the average Nigerian, let me just signpost this to my producer to go to the Leadership Friday, because it's quite, a contrast, to what we just analyzed. Talking about Leadership Friday, saying 200% price surge pushes egg, chicken off Nigerians' menu. And I saw that you laughed there because, fear of protein deficiency heightens Ministry, Farmers, Consumer Trade blame. So on one side, the macroeconomic, indices are telling us, yes, it's an uptick. But looking at some other things like maize, sorghum, etc., that have gone down. But when you talk about eggs and other things, they are still high up there unreasonably.
And remember the conversation we had the last time that I was telling our guests that the bag of rice is not how it used to be, but it's still expensive. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie that the administration is doing something. We can see things being done, infrastructure and all of that. It's looking good. But then again, for us to really say that it is happening is when I can go to the market and I can eat turkey. I can go to the market and I can eat 5 eggs.
Absolutely.
Don't eat 5 eggs. But I'm just saying, like, I'm able to...
Do you actually go to the market, you eat it raw?
No, like buy. Like I can buy.
You buy, you come back.
No, I eat raw eggs. I swallow raw eggs. No, I'm saying that I'm able to buy those things at a cheaper price. I know that inflation is going down, but some of the things are still costly. And this is not me saying that the federal government is not doing well. They're doing well in terms of roads, infrastructure. We're seeing things are being done well, but more has to be done because we keep speaking about it. But if the common Nigerians in their pockets, there is nothing there, they don't understand what you're saying. It's like you're just...
Olamide, they blame this on middlemen, what they do, because if we see that the farmers are making, let's say for egg now, they're making like 200 naira. The middlemen are making like 500 naira.
Absolutely.
So this is the problem. So the government, what do you think the government needs to do in ensuring that probably they can remove middlemen, but they need to just rein them in?
Absolutely. I say middlemen are part of the system. You cannot single out middlemen and then the grassroots. Middlemen are an intrinsic part of the system, of the trade system. But I will say this focus on grains as opposed to protein, maize, sorghum, it's very medieval. Remember when the queen would give out grains to her people?
Absolutely.
When I look at when I juxtapose this with the Western world, about how they're even exploring alternative sources of protein, you know what I mean? Plant-powered protein, and we're still focused on eggs. Eggs are a luxury in Nigeria. This is a far cry from the Nigeria that we created. And it's a shame, but the figures are promising. We've seen the GDP growth. We've also seen that inflation rates are coming down. The numbers are very, very promising, but these numbers mean nothing if they are not translated into real-time realities at the market and in our pockets, like you both rightly said.
We cannot deny the fact that the foundation is looking good, but we cannot just wait for it. The economy has been stable, but now it needs to start growing because we are doing it for the people. It's not for us at the end of the day.
And it's the role that we play individually is also very key.
Yes, you can't take that away.
Right. Let's move on to the Daily Times. Nigeria targets $22 billion trade growth with China backs global governance plan. So we're trading with the global south. The global south are coming together rather than just trading with America, US, etc. We are shifting our alignment towards how much are we trading with China, Brazil, etc. So this is where the monies are going this time round. How do you see it?
Yes. You have to understand the things that this present administration, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been doing in that direction. First of all, he made it very clear that we are part of the BRICS, that's number one. And on the 18th of July this year, the Nigerian-China Strategic Partnership announced that China is willing to invest $20 billion in Nigeria, and is going to focus on agriculture, is going to focus on automobile production, power. There are 5 issues that this money is meant for.
Technology as well.
Yes, technology is part of it. It is believed that once we have steady power supply, technology, fintech, and the rest, will be galvanized, and imagine the amount of jobs that will be created.
Absolutely.
If this deal goes through, it's going to be the biggest thing that has ever happened in Nigeria as far as the economy is concerned. And that means that Nigeria will be an economic hub that will feed other African countries and so on. It's a big leap, and that's the positive side. But there is another side to it, If we can't, because China is not Father Christmas, you understand? The $20 billion will be paid back, all right? But if we do not manage the money well and we have problems paying back, we've just given ourselves to China as a colony, unfortunately. However, the plan also has the Nigerian-China Strategic Partnership as the people that will manage the whole thing. So it's looking beautiful, it's looking fantastic.
I like the fact that we're not depending on just US. We're looking at other places, China and Brazil.
That's right. Ria, let's go on to the Daily Independent as well as the Punch newspaper. So for the Daily Independent, it's saying that 2027. Peter Obi not confused on party to run for president. And I want you to take it in line. They say that he's still a member of the Labour Party. Take it vis-a-vis coalition demanding Atiku Obi's full membership. That's the Punch newspaper as well as the Daily Independent, very quickly.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you cannot be here or there. You have to be in one place. And when it comes to Peter Obi, I think that he's moved from one place to another just so much that right now we are confused. If he's not confused, we are confused. Because with the Labour Party, he hadn't said he left the Labour Party, but he was having coalitions with the ADC. And then if you ask me, I may be wrong, but I think that, maybe he was thinking that he was going to get the ticket under the ADC. But apparently, it's looking like Atiku will get that ticket. And he has said that, he's not going to be a vice. So at the end of the day, he definitely has to go back to the Labour Party because he's not going to go back to the PDP. So if he's not confused, we are confused on his behalf. And I think it's high time for them to choose a place. Even Atiku as well, it's high time for them to say, okay, this is where we are. 2027 is already around the corner. But it seems like they're trying to weigh their options. They're trying to see time is going.
No, it's normal, Olamide, to weigh your options.
But time is ticking.
Absolutely, absolutely. Politicians are, you know, they're highly optimistic when it comes to, yes, I can get this, I can win this. But looks like this coalition of the thing is giving them more headache than the party itself.
Absolutely. The ADC's call for the members to what's it called, to resign from their existing parties. If you ask me, it is a loyalty litmus test. They are saying align with us, but what the ADC is not putting into consideration is the fact that you're going to have to prove that you can bring the numbers in off-cycle elections. You're going to have to prove that you are a party worth leaving my current political alliances for. And if Atiku and Obi leave their current parties, I believe Atiku has left already, but Obi is still in the Labour Party. If they leave, they are now cementing themselves as true opposition figures, and if they're not guaranteed, victory, it could leave them politically stranded.
But if you ask me, I think that if you ask me, I think Obi was just trying to weigh his options with the ADC because he hadn't left Labour Party and he was still having conversations with the ADC.
The best politicians know how to dance and dip their foot in water.
You see, the ADC needs these two people to come out clean and say we are members of ADC because of the political clout that both carry. You know, so the ADC really needs that. INEC's recognition of the chairman and the secretary of ADC gave them some level of legitimacy, and now they have to start building on the gains of that.
That's right.
And you know that in party politics, structure is everything. These guys have it. We need them inside.
At the end of the day, they need to pick a side.
There's still much to talk about, but let me quickly touch on, Ladoja ascending Olubadan throne today. So Ladoja's 32-year journey to the throne. Makinde cut short an annual leave for coronation. Tinubu top dignitaries to attend historic ceremony. So all eyes on Ibadan. Today, and all roads actually lead to Ibadan. So let's move on to the Blueprint newspaper talking about insecurity. Defense headquarters police, they say that 643 criminals arrested, dozens killed, 41 kidnapped victims rescued. Yeah, we talked about this, in our opening salvo for the program. And then moving on to the next paper, which is the Platform Times. Public anger as local government chairman sent wives abroad on taxpayers' bill. Turkey leadership training sparks accusations of corruption, and citizens say councils prioritize luxury over development. Women, listen, you are the salt of the earth. You are beside every man rather.
Every successful man.
We said beside, actually.
Beside. Yeah. So there is, you guys are there.
Yeah.
So should this even be a problem?
It's a very big problem. A very, very big one, because on this table, countless times, we've sat here and we've fought for these local government people. Where did they get the money to fly these people out? That is the question. Where did they get the money? Why are these people being flown out for a program? What program? What are they needed to do there? And then again, people are not being paid, but yet you are flying out for a training. I do not understand it. The public is supposed to be angry. I am angry too as well, because we've spoken about local government autonomy, but the question I want to ask is that, okay, some people will say, oh, maybe it's a plan, maybe it's this. I don't see it as that. Where was the money gotten for these women to go all the way to Turkey? We look at their welfare, transportation. It is not small money. Is it taxpayers' money? Which money?
The response given to this allegation is that they said we need our women, they are advisors, so we need to take to be equipped rather with better leadership skills.
Several times, on this set, I've discussed the importance of soft power. When we talk about the first lady of Nigeria and first lady of states, governors' wives, we've spoken about the importance of soft power here and how women need to be trained to better support their husband. But this is not one of those cases. At a time when a state the figures here are startling. They are owing pensioners, they are owing staff. There's unpaid salaries in that state. This looks like a public display of misplaced priorities. It looks like you don't care. Local governments are put in place to serve the people. Where are they getting the funds from? It's from federal allocations. I put it to you that. And then secondly, to make matters worse, there was a whole conversation, we had this before the show started, about how it was a ploy against the local government chairman to bring them bad press. On the other hand, the chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, he came out and said, yes, we coordinated the financing, we diverted part of these funds for this training because we think it's important. Matter of fact, their husbands just 2 months before this have gone for their own training.
And the thing is that why is it?
Rhea, can't they bring in, the trainers into Nigeria? They should fly them into Nigeria.
Ibrahim,
and train the women.
Ibrahim, let me tell you something.
Because of time, Rhea,
this is a very big misplaced priority. And I think they need to look into it. Accountability.
Right.
How much money did these people use to travel? They will repay that money back.
Right.
Because people are being old.
Come on. This Nigeria, structural challenges hindering productive sector. Experts alert federal government. Tell government to guarantee affordable, reliable power supply in industrial hubs. Review downward cost of clearing cargoes at seaports. So this is also contributing to the challenge of woes that we're experiencing, in the economic front.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that headline because take for example solar panels and solar machines. Remove the duty on that, and you have more of them coming. And we'll have alternative power supply. Well, there are a lot of taxes that are functioning now. If we take them off, yes, it will reduce our IGR a little bit, but the gains that will come with it is fantastic. Everybody knows that electricity is the biggest thing you need for especially small and medium scale businesses to thrive.
That's right.
Are the biggest employers of labor anywhere in the world.
Let's go at this very quickly, as fast as we can. Rhea and Olamide, stakeholders to federal government now talking about the weekend hope. Rising cases of suicide worrisome. Families, schools, workplaces urged to break stigma. National Suicide Prevention Bill seeks lifelines, decriminalization of attempts. So you wonder, why do people always choose suicide as the ultimate escape route?
Ibrahim, there's so many reasons. Sometimes you don't know what people are battling.
Is it justified?
It's not justified. It's a criminal offense, If you're even caught,
when
they catch you, if you try it and they catch you, you're supposed to even be put behind bars. It's a criminal offense to try to kill
so
yourself.
that's the advocacy that they want to criminalize it. So
exactly. But Ibrahim, what I'm saying is that a lot of people are going through things that sometimes we do not even know about. But I do not justify this. I always try to tell people that no matter what the situation is, once you're alive, there's hope. My mom tells me something. Once you wake up every morning, there's another chance for you.
Absolutely.
So with this headline, this is me advocating to every person, that if he is thinking of trying to end their life, that there is hope. It may be hard, it may be difficult, but once you are alive, there will be hope. And it's so sad to see that, FJ, the stakeholders are telling FJ that it's getting worrisome. There are a lot of numbers. I just pray that, we look into these people. And also, people that do this are also having mental health issues. They're also having mental health issues. For you to do this as well, for you to try to kill yourself, they also need to check your mental health.
I'd love to touch on this very quickly.
Right, yes. Olamide, looking at it, you will now ask questions like, okay, what are religious institutions, doing, in addressing this problem? There are so many stories, in the Quran and the Bible. You talk about Lot losing all of his families, all of his wealth and all of that. Well, he was saved at the end of the day. You talk about the Prophet Muhammad that lost all of his children. 6 children out of 7, only 1 survived. So there's so many messages of hope that people can be
absolutely, and I completely, as a Christian myself, I cannot deny or overstate the fact that religious institutions play a role. They deal us hope, they deal us a brighter future. However, we have to have realities on ground, practical steps that people can use.
That's right.
Therapy, help, support that will help them. The World Health Organization estimates that every 40 seconds someone dies. And if you're watching this, I want you to look at your life as punctuation. It's not a full stop. It doesn't have to end. It's a semicolon. It can continue in ups and in downs. And
absolutely. Now let's talk about the sport and life because of our time. Let me just run through.
Who makes the papers? Osimhen.
So many faces.
Osimhen, what is happening?
So many
Galatasaray.
Yeah. So many faces actually, made the papers. If you look at PSG, they want Man United outcast Rashford, and then I'm enjoying life at Celtic. That's hopes to score more goals for Hoops. That's Iheanacho, who is making confession there. But we need you guys to also enjoy more when it comes to the Nigerian League. Liverpool face fierce competition for Upamecano. Now, so all of those interesting. You're asking about Osimhen, who will be also playing Allianzspor, playing for Galatasaray against Allianzspor. So Osimhen is available for selection. So we hope that he gets back to the pitch and be able to perform what it knows how to do best. Battles against Lesotho, Benin, Onyedika ruled out. Guys, we just have to race them because of our time.
We can learn a lot from football. Life is like football. We're constantly playing games and being in motion.
And the ball, we're looking for the ball.
And constantly running up and down. The ups and downs of life.